Now, when you, as an artist, so you're putting out music that is gospel.
Yes.
So the assumption is up front, like I'm putting this out for my people that have the same beliefs as me. That and ideally, you're like, they're gonna love it.
Yeah, I always think like, oh, they gonna get it. I'm saying I love God.
Right.
Like, it's not ambiguous.
Right. And then the flip side of that, do you, as you're putting that out, do you have the thought like, oh, somebody that's not a Christian or not into gospel, they maybe not feel this, but I still got my crew, right? Mm-hmm. And then if they don't like it, are you just like, well, what am I doing if I don't have my own people? You don't.
No.
You're just okay.
If God gave it to me and I know I didn't give it to myself, if it's not contrived, if I wasn't looking at the charts and paying attention to some other artist, if I know this is something, because I'll let a thought sit with me if I write a song. Like, if it comes back and back again, I'm going, okay, this is the Holy Spirit leading me to write this song.
Right.
And so I write it, and it is for someone. I don't know who that someone is.
Right.
And it won't be for somebody because we have preferences. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We have different churches because people worship different ways.
Yes.
They like different styles of music, and that's
Yes.
okay. You know, everybody won't like me, and I'm totally okay with that.
I think that is the first step to being a creative. Just accept that everybody won't like you. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because comedy is subjective, music is subjective,
Yeah.
and you can make it
Even the way people preach, everybody doesn't like the way people.
Yes.
I've heard people come to Cali worship and go, "I'm so glad you guys don't go, aha." But then we, if we ever get really churchy, people's going, "Oh, yeah, not today."
No,
we had
good
church.
No,
like,
good. You
what
ain't
did we
church that
have?
kind of
Yeah, y'all
worship.
had good
That's the church I
today.
grew up on.
Yeah, so
and I think sometimes you grow. Sometimes, like I grew up on that type of preaching.
Yeah.
And then as you age, you want something different. And that, as long as you are loving God and worshiping in your way, different things, different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely.
So before we move on to the people's questions, you personally and you and Tina's clothing has always been like a thing. What do you think it is that gets people in an uproar?
There's still a lot of church people who think pants are sinful, that if they come to Heaven's Gate in pants, that there will be an angel that'll take them in the back and put a robe on them. They still think that my clothes are an indication of my heart. There are some old church people who are the meanest I've ever seen. They're never happy. They're not, you know what I mean? Like,
ain't nothing funny
about Jesus. And I don't get it. And I've met some of the sweetest, God-loving people with tattoos and piercings. You know what I mean? We would go out, and some of the homeless people, the conditions of how they got there would be different, but you could tell that they loved God. They just got lost.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I can't judge them and they're smelling like whatever they're smelling like, how can you judge somebody that comes in here with a tight skirt, or maybe that's all she has. My sister-in-law was singing with Kanye. She was touring, and she just wanted to go to church. So she went to a church in New York. She had some sweats on because it was cold. It was winter time.
Yeah.
She had Uggs on, and the person like cracked the door, looked her up and down, and she was like, he said, "You ain't dressed right." She was like, "But I want to."
Didn't let her in?
She was like, "I haven't been to church in a long. I just want to come in."
Hold on.
What? You can't come in here dressed like, and did not let her in. She was so heartbroken.
And she grew up in church.
She had already gone through her about like, is God real? I don't know about this. Do I really want it? She had gone through all of that. So your first time trying to come back to church and you get rebuked because of what you have on, it's
That's
the
awful.
most.
You expect that at the club, like, nah, dress code strictly enforced.
Yeah.
Like,
Not at church.
like, did Jesus have Jordans on?
Probably.
God.
I mean,
Did Jesus wear Stacey Adams? Did he have a shiny jacket that came
hard
down?
bottoms only.
Oh God, no.
That's a good point.
So,
I mean, I feel like
clothes are minimal to me. They're, yes, you should be mindful. You don't want to be a distraction.
Right.
And there's been times when I started the tour and I was skinny, and then by the end of the tour I was fatter because you eat pizza and chicken wings after you eat, and so then my tour clothes got a little tighter, and so I was like, sorry guys, I really wasn't this fat, and I know it looks like something intentional, so it would be that kind of thing. I just started to be smarter about my clothes.
Right.
And, I try to be mindful.
Right.
But I think that God made beautiful women with curves, and I don't think sexuality is a sin. I think God created it and Satan perverted it, and we said, okay, you can have it. Yes. You know what I mean? I think that
we talk about that in our podcast.
Yeah.
There's such a stigma with sex in the church, but children's church is packed. Children's church, there are kids everywhere.
And every church got a problem with people dipping and slipping.
Oh, and we was doing that when I was coming up. Not me. I was saved, amen.
And sanctified.
But skirts or not, if you finna have sex, it don't matter what you were. Oh, yes. In the back of the church, people were doing it, not me. Oh, no, not me.